Hello, in this lesson we shall be talking about political parties and party system. And at the end of this session, you should know what the meaning of political parties are, their functions and different types of political parties that exist. And you should also know the meaning of political party system and type of party systems that they are. I'll also be treating past questions from SSE and UTME. Finally, I'll give you tips on areas to focus on this topic in preparations of your upcoming examinations. Hello, in this video we'll be talking about political parties. Now, a political party is defined as a group of people who have the same interests and beliefs with the aim of running a government. Now, there are various types of political parties. I'll start on number one, the elitist party. Now, the elitist party is made up of people from the high class or top class of society. These are sophisticated members, made up of sophisticated members. Then we'll talk about mass party. Now, unlike the elitist party, anybody can join the mass political party. You can have from the common bikeman to a learned doctor. We move on to broker party. Now, this is a kind of political party where the ad hoc members get members from society, from the high class of society and the low class of society. They make a mixture so that it becomes more appealing to the public. They can appeal to the needs of the public. We also have religious political party. Now, this is made up of members of religious societies like the Christian society or the Muslim society and any other religious society we have. And we have the charismatic party. Now, this party is made up of members of high charisma, of good reputation and good character. Now, let's talk about the functions of political party. Number one being that they appoint representatives for the state or the country. They do this by holding elections of their own, which are called primary elections. Whoever emerges victorious from these elections become their candidates that will run and try and achieve power. 2, they act as watchdogs to the activities of the government. 3, they act as a bridge that brings the people closer to the government. 4, they act as a disciplinary floor or disciplinary board that helps to discipline members of their own party when they go wrong. And 5, they help to give the electorate options of candidates that they can choose from, good options that they can choose from. In our next video, we shall be talking about party systems, the different types of party systems, the advantages and disadvantages of these party systems. Hello, in this video we shall be talking about party systems. Now, party systems is defined as a political arrangement by which a number of political parties are constitutionally allowed to operate in a state. Now, there are 3 types of party systems. You have the one-party system, you have the two-party system, and you have the three-party system. Let's begin with the one-party system. In a one-party system, only one political party is allowed to operate constitutionally and legally. There is no opposition. That party is the ruling party, and any other party that is contesting is regarded as unconstitutional and treason. Now, here are some merits of one-party system. National integration. Since there is no rivalry, the opinions and views of the citizens are not divided. All their support goes out to candidates of one party. There is political stability. There is strong leadership because these parties are running unopposed. And this kind of party system is suitable for traditional African democracy. And lastly, it eliminates unhealthy rivalry. Let's talk about the demerits of a one-party system. 1, it's undemocratic. 2, it leads to oppression. 3, it encourages dictatorship. 4, it neglects public opinion. And 5, it can lead to coup, because these are the only ways this kind of governments can be changed by a revolution. Next, we talk about two-party system. Now, in two-party system, 2 political parties are legally and constitutionally allowed to operate. Here, there is rivalry, and to be the party in charge, you have to contest to the other party. These elections have to be held. Now, let's consider some merits of a two-party system. One, here the electorates have more options because it's not just one party, so they have options of whom they want. Two, it is more democratic. Three, it safeguards the rights of humans. Four, a dual party system or a two-party system enables a wider political education and political participation. And five, it allows for smooth change of government. There doesn't have to be a coup because the electorates have choices of whom they can decide with when they are not satisfied with who is in government. Let's consider some demerits or disadvantages of a two-party system. One, it is expensive to run. Two, it can lead to political instability. Three, it leads to election rigging. Next, we'll talk about a multi-party system. Now, a multi-party system is a system whereby more than one or two parties are allowed to run or can run. So any amount of parties, in as much as possible, can take part in trying to form a government. Now, the merits and demerits of a multi-party system are the same as the merits and demerits of a dual or two-party system. That's it for political parties and party system. In our next video, we'll be taking questions from SSC and UTME. Hello, in this video we shall be considering some questions from SSC and UTME. Question 1 is from WAEC 2018 and it says, which of the following is not a revenue of a political party? A. Dues, B. Grants, C. Tolls, and D. Donations. Now the correct answer is C. Tolls. A political party don't get their cash flow through tolls. Tolls is what local government or state government, how they get their money, but a political party cannot take tolls. It is unconstitutional. Question 2 from WAEC 2016 says, a political party can contest and win a widely acceptable election by A. Ability to rig elections, B. Intolerance of opposition, C. Having a broad-based membership, and D. Having the support of wealthy politicians. The correct answer is C. Having a broad-based membership. By having a broad-based membership, they are able to appeal to the populace or the population to vote for them, and they make their political party, they make their party closer to the electorate. Question 3. Political parties aim at all the following except A. Contesting elections, B. Forming a government, C. Conducting general elections, and D. Educating the electorate properly. Now the correct answer is C. Conducting general elections. Now this is not the job of a political party. All the other options are functions of a political party except for option C, which is conducting general elections. Question 4. A political party reaches the populace through the following except A. Posters, B. Newspaper, C. Schools, and 3. Advertisements. The correct answer is C. Schools. Political parties have no business going to advertise their ambitions because these children cannot even vote in the first place. Question 5 from JAM 2011 says, the type of party system in practice is defined by A. The relationship between the electorate and the political party, B. The structure of the political parties, C. The manner in which the political parties operate, and D. Number of political parties. The correct answer is D. Number of political parties, simply because the definition of political party system is the number of political parties that are allowed to operate in a particular state. That's it for the past question and answer segment. Make sure you check the key points and the advisory to help you with tips on how to handle this topic in the upcoming examinations. Thank you.